So the funny thing about yesterday's video is that I actually had today's video in mind, but I had to do all that preliminary throat clearing and get that out of the way to kind of explain where I was coming. Because I wanted to talk about one of these little house elves in my life and explain kind of how I think about it. I like to imagine that there's this basement with a door that has a mail slot like you would see on front doors, but for whatever reason it is on the basement door. And I've never been in the basement. I don't know what is in there or what it looks like. And in there lives this little guy. He's very skinny and wiry, and he has bald hair and these very thick glasses, and he's maybe in his 60s. And I decided I'm going to call him Jimmy. Now Jimmy kind of lives in that basement. He hasn't been out for years and years and years, and all he does is he listens to the noises coming from upstairs that are my thoughts and thinking, like, oh, I should do this today, or I want to talk about blah, or whatever happens to be going on in real life. And Jimmy hears this stuff and he scribbles it down just as fast as he possibly can, and I like to imagine that down there he's got this big library and all of these bookshelves filled with various materials and a bunch of file cabinets. And I like to imagine that he works at this desk with this banker's lamp, and there are papers all strewn over it, and painted along the walls are all these papers with highlighted sections and little markers, kind of like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. And Jimmy's a very messy and disorganized guy. If you tried to ask him, pull all the information you have on World War II, he's gonna go, I don't know, we don't have a card catalog, I don't know how to get that information for you, I don't know where this information is. But it's not really Jimmy's fault, it's just that there is so much information that he's trying to keep track of. There are just reams and reams and stacks of paper on his desk, and the idea of trying to classify all of that is something he just hasn't ever had time for. Now Jimmy's a very lonely soul, and he's forgotten what the outside looks like because he's always down there in that dark basement with all of that information. So more than anything, he wants to feel like he's making some sort of connection, like he's doing something worthwhile. And so whenever Jimmy hears those idiots upstairs jabbering on about some stupid thing they don't know anything about, he gets really excited, and he gets down and he grabs papers off of his desk and he pulls books off of the bookshelves and he races up to the top of the stairs and slides them right through that mail slot. Jimmy is my creative unconscious, and I like to think that we've built out a pretty decent working relationship. I understand that I can't just say, hey Jimmy, I need information about such and such. That's not how he works, and it stresses him out, and I know that if I put too much pressure on him, he'll just start ignoring me. Jimmy wants to feel like he's helping, not like he's being told to do something. He loves racing up and providing information that I would never have thought of, but he hates being instructed to fetch things. But I'm not without my people skills, and I've discovered that if I simply mention out loud, I'm thinking about this particular topic, and I don't pressure Jimmy and I don't ask him to fetch things for me, and I just give him some time and let him work at his own pace, eventually I can look at that basement door, and below the mail slot there'll be a ream of paper full of ideas. So what about you guys? Who are some of the people in your head that you interact with? What are their personas? What is their environment like? Are you adversaries? Are you friends? How's your relationship? I'm interested to know. If you feel like telling me, I will talk to you guys soon.